get that. We're all good.
I look at the Liberty County School Board regular meeting, Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, 5:30 p.m. Come to order. Prayer. Who's going to lead the pledge?
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you, God, for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you, God, for our school system. We thank you for our parents, our community, our county. We thank you, God, for the leadership that you've put in place, Father. We pray for your great wisdom and discernment, Father. We Lord, need your guidance in every decision we make every day, Father. Be with us in our thought life. May it be pure and holy in everything that we do. God bless us tonight as we take care of school business. Pray, God, that we would have the decorum worthy of the office, Father, and we would work in one accord. We love you and we thank you for the unity here tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving right along, recognition presentation. Heading. We would start on item number 3, public comment. We did not have any. Next, item number 4, superintendent report. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I feel real safe here tonight. Yeah, leave it that side, y'all in good shape. Very quickly, I've got a couple items there for you. One is just the report, and I'll give it. The other one's the Culpeper thing, and I'll refer to that here in just a minute. Number one, we're anxiously awaiting 2 important reports, one from OPAGA, which is Office of Program Policy and Governmental Accountability, and from the Cognate Accreditation. We anticipate great feedback from both. We went through exit conferences for both of those groups, and we expect to hear some really good feedback. We got an exit conference. They will continue to write a report. Now, why this is important, the OPAGA audit that they did, that's the one who will write the report regarding the half-cent sales tax. It didn't take them long to quickly understand we need that half-cent sales tax back in place. I've already met with Grant Conyers. He got our resolution last August when the board passed that resolution. It is on the, it will be on the ballot. We talked about that. So I spent some time with him last week doing that as well. New market tax credit, talk with Eric. Eric is still shopping, traveling the country, going on to where these things are shopped with these CDEs. He continues to be optimistic, very similar to it was for the first deal. He said these will go towards the end of the year and might even stretch into 2023. So he again still optimistic, but you know, again I believe want to see it. But he did show up for us the first time, so that was $592,000 was a good little chunk of change. So we're grateful for him. But he, you know, obviously it's to his advantage to get us one because he makes money off of that. So better he does, better we do. Mickey Hudson with PAC, he's our insurance guy. All the paperwork we've submitted to PAC for reimbursement and for the insurance claim on pre-K fire. Everything's been preliminary approved. We should be receiving documents in the next few weeks, and we should have a check after that. We had to do I want to thank Chessie. She did an extensive list of all the contents that was about $56,000 worth of contents. Of course, they go ahead and depreciate it to $28,000, and then they'll give you $14,000. So that's, you know, that's one of those things. It's kind of tough, but it is what it is. But the actual insurance claim gives about 14 for the contents and about 100,000 for the building. Staffing is always a challenge. I want to thank our district staff, especially Mr. Jeff. He loves having everything right in place at usually at the end of the year, and we almost got it done. But then also, as you see today, start getting a few resignations. You don't know who's talking to who, and other people. You know, we have some people who don't live here. They live somewhere else and work here, and then they get jobs closer to home. That happens. It happens. So they call it one resignation causes a ripple effect. It just does that. So
Kudos to the principals as well.
They've been very
they're very much advocates for their schools. They're all making calls, and they are like agents.
Yeah, they get after it, but we're very quick to advertise and address all our staff needs. So a lot of our all of our human resource stuff, Jeff and Renee, they get that stuff out, and we're kind of distributed some duties up here as we've absorbed some positions. So I want to thank our district staff for the flexibility. They have worked really hard. And, but I think hopefully by another 2 weeks, we'll be fully staffed again for a while. So we just hope to get every position filled. That's really important. You go to Franklin County, Rob can tell you, I think it was 1 year, there was 22 openings. And maybe last year, 14, 15, 16, something like that. I mean, it's just a crazy number to start school with that many openings. Bay County struggles with that. Their districts neighboring us that had long-term stuff all year long. So we're very blessed to have that. That's a real challenge for us, obviously. AC's been an issue at the district office. You're on my district. When I send something to district office, y'all get those as well. Nobody's killed me yet, but I think they wanted to a time or two. But it's just an old chiller system, and it's about $500,000 to replace it. It's about $200,000 to try to fix it, and it still may not work. It's just a lot of issues. I want to thank Kevin and his staff. They have actually invented some things out there that ought to be prototypes for future people. Try to keep it going, kind of let us in. So far, it's been working for the last couple of days. It seems a little warm in here now, but we were very blessed to have it. It was hot in here Monday morning. I mean, really, really warm. So long-term goal is to get individual units. Even with that chiller system, we had to heat up here. So we've got a plan in place, and of course, it will be heavily, how you gonna pay for it? That's always a big issue. But I appreciate Kevin and his staff coming up with a plan for that, where we are moving forward with that. And hopefully this thing will link to that point. STEM camps going on at the high school. A few days this week, students from surrounding counties have joined our students. I got to spend more time with them this morning. There were about 50 students. PAC's putting it on, and that is sponsored by Embry-Riddle Aeronautical School, College. I think that's the name for it. They're there. They sponsored the event, so it was very good this morning. At the high school, they were joined up in the GRHC building. Number 7, very important one. I'm glad they're here tonight. I want to thank Sheriff Money for his assistance in securing some SROs for the summer, for all of our summer programs in the district. I sent out a parent square today informing parents of the added security in our schools for summer. We had 2 issues in our country. One was in Gadsden, Alabama last week, and then Dallas, Texas yesterday. You may have missed that one. I'd actually missed it. Somebody shared it with me. Same kind of situation. Some bad guy trying to get in a summer school program, and both instances they lost their life. Good for them. That's what you get. So we're just grateful for the sheriff and his staff. Got to meet with them, and they quickly put a plan in place. Our SROs work so many hours during the school year that summertime they kind of flex that time off. So the plan is to use some off-duty deputies, and so. Some of them have been SROs before, so they know what to do. So I just, again, since he's here tonight, it's on my paper. I want to thank you, Sheriff, and thank you for your staff, Chad, Bobby, Dusty. Thank y'all for all the help in doing that. I got some really good feedback from our parents for that happening, and that couldn't happen without you. Brings me to number 8. I have talked to some of y'all about the Guardian program. Some of y'all have some really, y'all each have some good questions. The sheriff is interested in us doing that, supporting us in that if we want to do that. So what I'd like to do is schedule a workshop and talk about that. And then I want to follow that with it. If we decide we kind of want to move forward, we start leaning that direction. I want to have an executive session with the sheriff and his staff. There's a few times that we can meet outside of the sunshine. One of them is if we're discussing legal strategy. The other times that we're discussing legal strategy that pertains to collective bargaining, we do quite often. And the third thing is we're dealing with security for our schools. So, for example, if the board chose to implement the Guardian program, and we had an open meeting and said, okay, Laura's gonna have a pistol, and Jeff's gonna have a pistol, and Kevin's gonna have a pistol, and then everybody on the worldwide web just heard our security plan. We actually can meet outside of the sunshine to discuss those security plans, and that's well defined in statute. So I would like to follow that up if we start moving in that direction to meet and to plan that along with Ricky when he gets back. And we'll work out that time. I know Sheriff's going, you got a little trip planned. We'll work, and I got one of them. We'll work on that sooner than later. So me and Dusty had talked about that today. Just would appreciate y'all's open minds and hearts about that, because I think I hate to have to do something like that, but I think we need that little added support. It's always good to have some extra support in those areas of our school. Instructional staff, they received $1,000 bonuses as part of the collective bargaining agreement. with the LEA. Today on the, as your agenda, on the agenda is a emergency item, I'm proposing $1,000 bonuses, and all this money comes out of ESSER money. We've talked about it. It's been approved by the state. We have to get approval for any kind of amendment that we do. The money's there to do that for all of our non-instructional staff and administrators. And then $400 bonuses will be for our health aides. That's consistent with what we did back in the spring. So I think that will be a great opportunity for them. I sent out a proposal for Culpeper today. That's the sheet, the extra sheet that you have. I sent it to Kevin as well. You know, that's kind of a start to finish turnkey, nuts and bolts, nothing left out. When I looked at the bottom line, I choked a little bit, but it's going to cost money. There's a few things on there, and you know, that I think we can save some money on. I think there's some things, you know, I was not intimidated by the figure because I think we're about halfway there, but I've had I have some people I want to reach out to that are benevolent givers that I would love to really kind of start that capital campaign back and say, look, we need some money. We need to finish this. And I believe we've done this at the church and it's worked. We pay for things, pay cash for stuff. And I think we can do that here. I think the community sees progress and they see us moving in the right direction, then they'll become givers. And that's the thing, they want to see progress, and I think we can do that. So this again includes every little granny that needs to be done out there. And again, I just got it this afternoon. I've not had a chance to really scrutinize it with Kevin and let's kind of go down. I did talk to ACI, the people who built the furniture here or in my office and in some of the offices. I'm trying to think of the guy. Good gracious, I can't think of his name. I just totally drew a blank. He called me today from ACI. They're ready to make the foot lockers for the locker room. And so he's going to put a proposal together. And again, all the labor will be free because inmates would do it. So he'll have that ready for us next Wednesday. Number 11, Governor DeSantis signed the state budget. We received all of our appropriation requests, which is a big deal. It's a really big deal to get $121,000 for the school bus, $92,000 for new digital communication systems. That's important because the more we can pay stuff out of grants for stuff that we need that are ongoing expenses, then we can build that general fund up to be able to handle raises and those kind of things that need to happen. So I want to try to, you know, get all the low hanging fruit we can. I will put another bus in there for the next year. I'm going to do it every year. It's a need, and so we're just going to keep doing that till they tell us we can't do it. The state of Florida was good to Liberty County this year. They were good to the sheriff's office. They were good to the county commission. They were very good to us. Just, you know, as you talk to Jason shows and Lorraine Allstate, just be sure to, you know, let them know how much you appreciate it. I've talked to both of them and just told them how indeed grateful we are because they really helped us. Here towards the end, I want to remember the Jimmy Bilbo family. Mr. Jimmy was a board member from 1990 to 1994 is what I best figured because Doobie succeeded him after that. And Doobie's been here for 50 years. How long Doobie's been here 28 years. So remember him. He's one of our school board, but former school board members. Remember the Jeremy Fletcher family? That you may not know that name. I think most people do. He has the surveying company right here across from the front office or from the finance office. His wife is Pat Pickering Holcomb, now Fletcher. He lost his life. And so I remember our teacher down there, Miss Pat, works for Robert Toller, sweet lady, good veteran teacher. Just remember those two families. I want to recognize Neil Land and Timber. Thank you, Renee, for giving me that. I didn't mean to leave that off. They donated 6 fireproof fire cabinets from the office there on River Road. And so we have those. We had to go get them, but they were heavy. But we appreciate 6 of those things. $12,000 worth of fireproof fire. Yeah, so that was a real blessing. So I think we've already wrote that letter thanking them for that. So lastly, I'll be on vacation June the 27th to July the 4th. Obviously, if you need me, you call me. I will have my phone with me. If you don't need me, call Jeff. Jeff be in charge that week. And so like if there's obviously emergency, I'll do what I gotta do. But if it's something, you know, day-to-day stuff that Jeff can help you with, he'll be available to help you. Any questions? All right, Mr. Chair.
Now, we're moving right along to item 5, addition correction to the agenda. We need a motion to add items, emergency items 10A, B, C, D, E, and F. Have a motion. Moore, second. Flowers, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item B, need a motion for addition to corrections to consent item A, B, and C. Action items 9B, emergency item 10A. Have a motion? Motion is Singletary, have a second.
Second.
Mr. Moore, any discussion? All in favor?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Is 9B the one for the RFP? Okay, I'm gonna make a motion, or if I can, to table 9B, because we've got some time on scheduled events for the RFP, we need to be adjusted, so. that's not working.
We need to wait till 9 days to do that.
Okay.
And see also.
Excuse me?
See as well.
And see, yeah, I know it is, but this is only got 9B on that one, so.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item 6, need a motion to approve the agenda for June 14, 2022. Have a motion.
Motion.
Mr. Flowers, second. Second, Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item number 7, approve the minute. Need a motion to approve May 3rd, 2022 emergency minute, meeting minutes. Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Jody, second. Second, Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item B, need a motion to approve May 3rd, 2022 workshop meeting minutes. Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion with Jody, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Moore, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item C, need a motion to approve May 10th, 2022 regular meeting minutes. Have a motion.
Motion.
Motion with Secretary, have a second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item D, need a motion to approve May 16th, 2022 emergency meeting minutes. Have a motion. Motion, Ms. Secretary, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item 8, consent item. Need a motion to approve the following financial reports and transactions. Principal report for May 2022, financial statement for May 2022. We did not have any budget amendments. Bills and payrolls for May 2022. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Moore, second. Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item B, need a motion to approve June 14, 2022 personnel consent table with additions and corrections. Got the motion? Motion. Ms. Secretary, second.
Second.
Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item C, need a motion to approve June 14, 2022 21st century personnel consent table with additions and corrections. Have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Jody, second.
Second.
Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, need a motion to approve hiring Whitney Copel as summer ESY pre-K teacher for the Bristol site effective June 8, 2022 to be paid from ESSER funds. 13 days in June, 9 days in July, up to a total of 22 days with hourly rate. Motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Moore, second. Second. Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item E, in a motion to approve hiring Leslie Reddick as summer ESY pre-K grade professional for the Bristol site effective June 8, 2022 to be paid from ESSER funds. 13 days in June, 9 days in July, up to a total of 22 days at hourly rate. Have a motion? Motion. Jody, have a second? Second, Ms. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Move on, item F. Need a motion to approve the following summer electric staff to work 7 hours a day, 4 days a week, June the 8th, 2022 through July the 28th, 2022 at regular rate. Sandy Davis and Agnes Seaman at Tower School, Shirley Clark, and Marilyn Smith at Hofstra School. Have a motion? Mr. Yoder, have a second? Second, Mr. Fowler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item G. Need a motion to approve authorization from Ms. Melody King, Director of Finance, on Liberty County School Board banking account with Centennial Bank, effective June 14th, 2022. Have a motion? Mr. Yoder, have a second? Second, Ms. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item 9. Item 8. Need a motion to approve the gas bid submitted by Eli Roberts and Son Incorporated for the 22-23 fiscal year. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Fowler, second. Second, Ms. Yoder, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next is item B.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
this is the one that I like to
Table.
do. I take and the actual seat too. Because
Need a motion to table this item.
Motion.
Motion is Singletary, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Fowler. Any discussion? Vote say aye.
Chair, do you want
Yeah.
to give a description why you want to table? this?
Okay, thank you, Jason. Basically, after looking at it, most of them to public, there's some discrepancies with the times and the schedule of events. So we're gonna work on those and get back out there.
Sounds good.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item C. Need a motion to table this item.
Motion.
Mr. Fowler, second. Secretary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item D. Need a motion to approve Florida School Board Association Board Docs LT licensing fee and service invoice for Liberty County District School for July the 1st, 2022 through June the 30th, 2023. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Yoder, have a second?
Second.
Mr. Fowler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item E. Need a motion to approve the master resolution and contract for district participation in Panhandle Area Educational Consortium, DAEC, Central Service, 2022 through 23, with the following resolutions. Membership service of district participation, paraprofessional development center, curriculum support service, human resource support service, gateway educational computer consultants, student data service. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Moore, second.
Second.
Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Item F, need a motion to approve consulting agreement between TSA Consulting Group Incorporated, Liberty County School Board, and the Panhandle Area Educational Consortium, PAEC, to commence June 1st, 2022, and continue to June 30th, 2023. Motion?
Motion.
Motion, Secretary. Second. Flower, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item G, need a motion to approve risk management agreement between the Liberty County School Board and Panhandle Area Educational Consortium, PAEC, from 22 through 23. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Yoder, second. Mr. Moore, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item H. The motion to approve the district private school service agreement, school year 2022 through 23, between Liberty County School District and the following school districts: Allen County, Gaston County, and Jackson County. Have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Flower, second. Secretary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next item I. Need a motion to approve memorandum of understanding between Liberty County School Board and the following entities: the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Lake Mystic Baptist Church, and Corinth Baptist Church. Have a motion?
Motion.
Jody, second by Singletary. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, J. Get a motion to approve Apalachicola Forest Youth Camp request to use school buses for transportation of students and staff during emergency evaluation for the 22-23 school year. Have a motion? Mr. Moore, second. Ms. Jody, any discussion?
We do that every year, Kyle.
Every year.
Every year.
And it's only pending, if we need them first, we have first priority.
Yes.
If they're available for them, obviously we serve our students first. We've been doing that for,
Yeah, we do it every year.
yeah.
If it's something that we have to do every year, can we do that? 2, 3.
It's something for their records, they have to have a new agreement each year. So that it's more them than us. So we could have a standard agreement. Their DJJ standards requires them to update those year.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item K, need a motion to approve the performance contract for exceptional student education consultative services between Liberty County School Board and the Crown Health Education Consortium, PAEC, from July the 1st, 22 through June the 30th, 2023. Have a motion? Motion is Jody, second. Second, Ms. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item L, need a motion to approve a cooperative service agreement between Florida State University and Liberty County District for the 2022-23 school year. Have a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Fowler, second, Jody. Jason. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item M, need a motion to approve dual enrollment articulation agreement between Chipotle College Board of Trustees and the Liberty County School Board for the 22-23 school year. Have a motion? Ms. Jody, have a second. Second, Ms. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item N, need a motion to approve service agreement between Max Pearson Pest Control and Liberty County School Board to provide pest control service for a period of 3 years, beginning July the 1st, 22 through June the 30th, 25. 25, with annual review for each party to propose amendments or modifications. Have a motion? Mr. Moore, second. Second, Ms. Fowler, any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
got a question, how, the purchase orders will be done every year, though. I mean, we've got a contract that lasts for 3 years, but we'll do purchase orders every year.
This approval will be attached to the purchase order each year.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item O, need a motion to approve agreement with contracted service between Liberty County School Board and Hall Septic Tank Service for a period of 3 years, beginning July the 1st, 2022 through June the 30th, 2025. An annual review for each party to propose amendments or modifications. Motion? Motion, Secretary, second.
Second.
Fowler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item P, need a motion to approve school district administrative claim, SDAC, letter of agreement between the Liberty County School District and agency for health care administration to be paid, to be valid for 5 years and eligible to be reviewed at 5 years, July the 1st, 2022 to June the 2027. Motion? Jody, second.
Second.
Ms. Fowler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're on the queue. Item Q. The motion to amend contract agreement for special language pathology site services with Red Day, MSCC-SLP for the month of July. Provider will be Medicaid for any reimbursement services. Motion. Motion is no. Second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Fowler, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item R. Need a motion to nomination of Florida School Board Association District Advocacy Committee Representative and alternative for the term of July 1st through the 2022 through June the 30th, 2023. Have a motion? Nomination?
nominate who get last.
Wait a minute.
That change.
It does need to rotate. What's that? Why is
Okay,
that?
if you nominate for that person. I'm ready, so. So it looks like I'll nominate Jody. And nominate like I'm live. All 31. Either one.
I'm being tax collector.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I'm sitting down here at the end of the line, I never get a motion in, so.
So you need a nomination of all.
You wanna stay here? You wanna stay here? I put you in my chair tonight.
How about,
Mr. Chair, I nominate James.
James?
I'm gonna nominate Jason.
Jason, all right.
Nominate somebody else.
You all right?
I'm all for you, right? So how many motions are there out? Who made a motion first? I made a
You
motion.
speak first, Russ.
I'll go first. Nominated Debbie for James Alter. They can do whatever they want with that.
Right, there's any kind of second, we're gonna need to second that.
Somebody have a second, I'll second that.
All right.
Vote yes.
Jody and James, right? Jody and James. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Opposed?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I oppose.
I vote.
That's two, two.
But y'all need one, right?
I need one.
Y'all don't vote at the same time.
I'm doing one, but
One.
It's really.
one and all. I nominate Judy.
Yeah, these,
You got tired, you got tired.
They're tied. Chairman's got a break.
Chairman got it first.
these are right.
You know, it's good.
No, I'm gonna nominate both, Jody and James. There's a tie, right?
Where is? Who was it last year, what?
Jody and James, right? Any more discussion?
Thank y'all for doing that.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
You will.
Thank you,
Glad
Mr.
to serve.
King.
Glad to serve.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Sign of minutes. Need a motion to approve nomination of a board member and business owner to represent the Liberty County School Board on the value adjustment for 22-23 terms. Do we have a nomination?
I'm gonna make a motion to Blue Morris.
And I would like to second that motion.
I've done it forward,
What about a business? Business owner, who we have that?
So she got on the bench with us, I talked to Mitch, talked to his wife, she followed over. So, no, he said he would love to serve. Good. As business owner.
Business owner, Mitch Will.
It was tough as it was this year, but
Thank you, another 22 years on it. Is that something we need to approve?
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Motion carried. Marshall, Mitch Will. Moving on to item 10, emergency item. Item 8. Need a motion to approve updated supplement list, special positions, for 21-22 school participation year. Motion. Motion, Mr. Singletary, second.
Second.
Ms. Doe, any discussion? Never say aye. Any opposed? Passes. Next, is item B. Need a motion to approve Sherry Flowers, teacher at W. Toller School, drop request effective July 1st, 22, with final retirement termination date to be effective no later than June 30th, 2027. Have a motion? Motion, Ms. Joe, got a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Never say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item C. Need a motion to approve school-based data scientist summer hours with Janessa Edwards at Austin, K-8, weeks, 4 days a week, 7 hours per day, at hourly rate, paid 8 days in June and 12 days in July. Have a motion? Motion, Mr. Singletary, have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Jody, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item D. Motion to approve contract between Townhouse Area Education Source, PAC, and the School Board of Liberty County to provide virtual services for the 22-23 school year. Have a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Ms. Jody, have a second? Second, Ms. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item E. Need a motion to approve a $1,000 bonus, $1,000 bonus for non-instructional employees, administrators, as well as $400 bonus for health aides, 21-22 school year to be paid in ESSER 3. Motion. Jason. Motion, Jason, second. Booth. Any discussion? Thank you for that. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, next is item F. Need a motion to approve Liberty County Sheriff's Office contract for service with the Liberty County School Board beginning the 6/14/2022 and ending the 7/21/2022. Have a motion? Motion. Joe, second. Singletary, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item 11, board policy item. Need a motion to approve second reading of policy manual updates. Motion? Motion. Moore. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item 12. Board member concern, Mr. Flower.
Just a couple of questions, only, I know insurance, I guess, that we got settled insurance on this. The wide pre-K buildings down there. What's our timeline on getting them tore down? Like, are we gonna put the other one up to bid or?
So right now,
The
the person that we got, a bid to tear it down, wants the other two. So, it's one of those things that wind up being a wash, what we have to pay to do that, to get rid of the other two.
Will they have it done prior to the start of the school year?
First week of July is the
When they plan
that's
this?
the plan move. They'll take the fence down, move everything, get it hauled off, move the others. Yes, that should be before school.
Yeah, I just had somebody ask me about. Probably talk more about the work.
I think we got, all on board together, I want to say Donnie Red bought some of them, for a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. Then he moved them, I think he moved them down there, so. That's the plan, it's July, first week of July.
Well, that's good. That's about all I got.
Ms. Joe.
Just a couple of questions too. The quote that we received from Pepper, keeping in mind we got 18 months. What's kind of, we could get a time frame on, so we wanted to kind of reach out and see if we could get some help. Getting that money spent.
So Kevin and I get together this week and we'll start going through it. I would say, let's start some of the things that you gotta have doing the closing it in, doors, those kind of things, electricity and stuff. It's a pretty extensive thing. We walk out there, we know where the hookups need to be, but I'd say enough to really, I'm sure we all before, it's really in good shape. It's just nasty. So they would come in, a couple guys, come here, clean it out, get it ready for that. But you gotta have electricity, you gotta have AC, and you gotta have water, are the big things. So I think what we'll do is probably phase this and start having a plan next week. to phase that, and then as we go through this, kind of figure out what we can live with, what we can, what we can live without. What can we not have to have for football season? Our goal is to have it by football season. That's a very ambitious goal, but it's been sitting there for 9 years, but I think we can put a good dent in it, to get a lot of it done. So we're just going to phase it based on funding.
Our time frame is just so tight.
It's getting tight, I know, but I'm still confident about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question, how Rob might answer this, what's the update on the playground? How was supposed to come out and look at it?
Chuck Roberts came out and looked at it,
Okay.
when they, so Culpeper was the one that's looking at the tear down, so, Mr. Chuck came, one of the big issues out there, obviously, is, what's the issue is the drainage, there about is none. You got a bunch of downspouts off that back, that, one of the recommendations is putting boxes under them, get that water out towards the field. That would reduce it a bunch, but you need to do there needs to be some dirt work. There's mulch under some sand. Some of that needs to be pulled out and then graded. One of the suggestions was around some of the swing sets, put a little border thing like the other, so you got some drainage. That's gonna cost some money, and I would like to use some of the money from the pre-K fire to do that. So that's another thing that Kyle Rogers is working on. I'd love to have that done by school too. It's always a mess when
I know.
it takes a couple of days for it to drain, when it floods like it does here, like the 6 do now, it takes about 2 days, 2 or 3 days for it to filter on down, and then they can't use the playground, even though it's maybe sunshine outside. So it's a problem.
One more thing, I'll be doing tomorrow, house on here, the basic house, I'll be at Toller speaking, or Stacy is actually coming to speak. For Central 21, actually, this is summer break spot side is, which Stacy come in and it's out there and showcases, so.
Hey, before we move too far along, touch on what Jody went from that field outside there. Have we talked to Walnut here at prison, try to get some inmate labor maybe?
That's what I'm saying. I talked to the guy. I talked to the guy, Bob Chambliss or something.
Charles,
What'd you say?
oh, you talked to,
At ACI.
you didn't talk to Walnut here at our prison about getting in?
Tim Davis did, and I think that was a referral, was to ACI. He told me they got 18 inmates ready to start tomorrow. So he's gonna give me a bid, but that was who I ultimately got. I think Hamilton did some work at one time on something. They were the only ones that have a shop, but
Well, what I was thinking on that bid sheet, I said, it's gonna be kind of extensive.
correct.
We can get
That's right.
Walnut in, bring in ladies down here, paint. And I mean, we need to check them out on what they got work squads.
Right.
If they do, we might want to.
I think there's some areas, Kevin and I
Yeah.
corresponding, there's some areas there we can say, can we do that, or we got somebody to do that. And even if there's some things to do up into after August, we got that construction class. I really wish they could make all the football.
Yeah,
We just gotta look at what our time frames are. I would love for them to do that. I think it'd be a great experience for them.
yeah.
But there may be other things that they can help us with. Painting being one of them,
So,
Touch base with you, share, and they have come talk. And down here, appreciate you. Kevin wants to, they don't allow.
March, hopefully will be here in the next couple of days. Some of us come in, maybe by the end of the week. Talked to them yesterday afternoon. Just waiting for parts.
Jackson,
I want to reiterate, Kyle mentioned the guardian program. Everybody knows that's something we're working on. We talked about it tonight. That's a pretty hot topic right now, and it should be. So, I just want everybody to rest assured that's something we're discussing. Thanks to the sheriff department for doing what y'all do every day, but what y'all do today, especially. kids. Make a lot of people feel a lot better.
Me included. I was there, I saw it.
Y'all agree to, these two right here, now put some pressure on some people, sign up.
We appreciate y'all.
Do.
I know I've called y'all a few times, so that's important. I believe.
Top that, Dave had to make motion to table one piece. What kind of time frame was looking to get back to that? All in motion.
I hope I have everything, tomorrow's kind of a 5 day for me, I got to be up there Thursday, I think we have to turn around Monday or Tuesday.
So it may be,
Yeah, maybe especially on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, this basically. And I want, and for the record, I want to thank Jody. She put a lot of work into to help him with this RFP. You know, we're trying to streamline the bidding. You know, we don't do a lot of it, but we have done some this year. And you know, just even the gas bids this year, and 18 years that I was on the board, we always kind of opened up the bids here. It doesn't give the board a lot of time to scrutinize, ask questions. That we, you know, Renee still sent y'all all the bids, but we had a bid committee, and we could do that by policy, be able to open that up. And then we totally recommend the recommendation. Y'all can override that, but hopefully that streamlines the process rather than putting a lot of, I always felt pressure when you open that envelope, you go, okay, I gotta make a decision, and you look through it, there may be something you missed. We want to streamline that also in this. So in this bid for the RFP for the healthcare, that's a $1 million plus.
It's our biggest contract.
It's our biggest contract.
So
So
it affects everybody in this.
Affects everybody. Jody had some things that I had not thought about, even in my time on the board, some things to think about that you, little perks you might ask for, some things you might get as part of the stuff. So we put that in there. So she took Stephanie's, what Stephanie kind of crafted as an RFP and was able to build it. So she had a lot of handiwork in that. We just want to make sure these dates, typically what kind of got us off tonight is we typically advertise for about 4 weeks. We're not required to do that, but might give us a little more time to kind of out in the district office to get everything ready for onboarding. So we may adjust those dates a bit. We just kind of called it before the meeting. So I think it'll be an easy fix. Nothing substantive as far as the big nuts and the bolts of it. It's just the dates.
Scope or anything.
Yeah, it's out of scope.
Okay, just those dates.
Okay.
Closing comments, we move right on up to 14.
Motion.
Jay, second.
So